think he is a genuine person, ordinary bloke who is trying to expose all those...
You're absolutely right. Well, here I am back to speaking to more visitors from across the pond. And this lady nails it. She just nails it. I have no idea what the hell she's doing with the dipwad she's with, but there's no, there's no accounting for some people do with getting mixed up with the people they do. I don't know what the traction is, but she's right on. He's kind of off base. So I think this is sincerely, I don't think there are too many people I've run across too that probably understand Tommy Robinson as well as this lady does, or that I've met out there. So, you know what you do. If you like it, you like it. If you care, you share. Can you contribute? And I'll see you on the flip end of this one. Either one of you familiar with this gentleman right here?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I didn't know you'd heard of him in America, though.
Oh, he's got a lot of followers here.
Has he? Tommy Robinson?
Yes.
My son likes him.
Good.
My son likes him.
Good.
Well,
then your son, you've raised your son properly.
Oh.
I think Tommy Robinson is doing Brits very proud.
Yeah.
Speaking truth to power.
Yeah. I know, I feel a bit sorry for him. I think he had something happened to a relative of his and it's embittered him, I think. But I feel he's like an ordinary person who tries to speak out, really. He's quite brave, really, I think. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I think so. But
yes.
He's got lots of people who don't like him. Do you like...
No, not really, no, I don't.
I don't. I feel
it's a bit too extreme, I think, isn't it?
Well, I think the media portrays him in a bad light because he is showing them up for the fools they are.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they won't report on the crimes he's reporting on.
No.
I mean, it all started out where he had a shop and next to him was a Muslim group rape ring that was going on, grooming children to be prostitutes. And he kept on going to the authorities saying, could you please do something about this? And they wouldn't.
Yeah. I think his cousin got gang raped by a group of Muslims or something.
Okay. And so he started reporting on it. And that's when the authorities came down on him because he embarrassed them.
Yeah, he's in
so
jail.
They would drum up charges on him and spread lies about him. And I think that's where a lot of people get negative views of him from listening to the lies that are told about him.
I agree.
But if you listen to the man himself and not what people say about him, you get a whole different view. It's two different stories. Because I've witnessed them take one of his speeches and cut things out of it and put stuff together, and it'd be a different speech. Where it'd make him sound horrible.
I know.
And, so I think they're...
he founded the English Defence League, but he left that because he thought that was like a racist dog. The followers were clearly racist, weren't they? But I think he just is... I mean, he ended up in jail, didn't he? Because there was some court case, wasn't there?
He was reporting on a court case.
It was... I think some Muslim lad had been victimised in some way, but he'd actually...
Well, they were convicted of grooming children for prostitution.
Yeah.
They were convicted of it. He was outside the courthouse reading from a news report that was already publicly published. Mm-hmm. And they came along and said, Tommy, you can't do this.
Contempt of court.
Put him back, put him in, just on the street. And he's talking about an already published news story. And they threw him in jail without even a trial for 13 months. But he was out in 3 because there was a big hullabaloo about it. And then they retried him and then threw him back in jail, and he was out, I think, in a couple of months. Yeah, so they just make up lies about him, and all he did is report the news.
I think he is a genuine person, ordinary bloke who is trying to expose all those.
You're absolutely right. I think you've got the right opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he's a right-wing, horrible fascist racist person.
He's not.
I think he genuinely
Maybe he's supposed to be a bit extreme sometimes.
Well, do you know what? If you're in England, the way everything is so sort of PC and you can't say anything about anything, can you?
Right.
It's like now, you're sort of alienated. Like Labour, I would have always been a Labour supporter because I'm working class. But I couldn't vote Labour now because Labour is like a party for minority groups, ethnic minorities, or any LBG.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And there's nobody who's the party for ordinary people really anymore. I don't know. So they're all opting to these extreme parties, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because there's no alternative.
Which is another thing that Tommy was speaking up about, how the influx of immigration has changed England. Yeah. It's changed the politics. It's changed the culture.
Yeah.
And again, why the authorities are crushing him because. He's speaking truth.
You've heard the Brexit debate. You've heard of Brexit.
Yes.
Well, I voted Brexit. I don't know if you did you?
No, I won't stay in.
But I've got 4 sisters, and they all voted. They really fell out with me because I voted Brexit. Because
But I think I even just read today, this morning, or something. They're delaying it again, or something.
Yeah.
Which is, you see, I mean, you even have to admit, even if the people vote for something, shouldn't the government follow through?
The thing was, it was so... There we go. It was so tight. There were 52% come out.
No, 2 million more people.
48%
to stay in. So we're that close.
So
that
doesn't mean
so why should you delay it? I mean, the thing is, why should you delay it? If it says, here we got some, the majority rules, right?
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're making excuses, I'm sorry, you can't have that because it was that close. No. Well, that's not the way the vote works.
No.
The vote works is like if you voted to go out, you go out.
Yeah.
What happened, though, prior to that, Scotland were going to vote whether to stay with the UK.
Well, they had a referendum about Scottish independence, and they voted to stay in the UK. Then when the overall referendum about Europe happened, overall, more people voted to leave.
Yeah. And another problem I have with the EU is there are 2 things that have come into the lexicon, is globalization and nationalization. Globalization is basically the elites want to form a one world government using a one world currency. Part of the way they form that is by forming economic blocs like the EU to go ahead and then, put them all together. The North American Union, the South American Union, the European Union, the Asian Union, and then they all form together and have a one world currency. Anytime you take away power from the individual and centralize it like that, you have problems. And that's a problem I have with the EU. That's a problem I have with any time they go ahead and form these economic blocs. It is heading towards globalization. Nationalists, which would be more like a Tommy Robinson, which would be more like a Donald Trump, and be more like people who want to have independent nations with their own identity, own currency, that can trade fairly with other countries, making, unilateral trade agreements rather than having these huge economic blocs, help to keep individuals holding more power. Because again, the more you centralize, the more power you take away from the individual. So that's what I have a problem with the EU.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I have a problem with any of those economic
and it's
blocs.
very bureaucratic, and the people who are in control of it are the unelected bureaucrats, the commissioners.
Thank you. right?
I entirely, yeah, definitely.
And the bureaucrats vote for themselves. They don't
Keep
vote the
themselves in
people.
jobs, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
The European MPs, they do nothing really.
Virtually, yeah.
Yeah.
They just got no job really, no function.
And we have the same problem with our bureaucrats here. I mean, our federal government was supposed to be this big.
Yeah.
Wasn't supposed to be a monster we have now. So we have all these alphabet agencies and whatnot. I've talked to people out here at work in those agencies that tell me that comes to the end of the year, they got so much money, they don't give it back. No, they have to spend it on redundancy and foolish stuff. So at the end of the year, they can say, we need more money. So they can grow bigger. So I've had them admit to me out here that that's what they do.
Yeah, I entirely agree with you. Yeah, so we've got to get our folks now.
All right, God bless you. What was I right about her? Just nice. Just a good woman. She definitely got it all over that guy that she was with. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Remember if you can, to go ahead and hit all the right buttons and to pray for me out there. And if you can contribute, that would be grand. God bless you. I'll see you on the streets.